Hey everyone, I'm going to show you how to open a sprouted coconut. There's a lot of ways to do it. Check out YouTube, there's tons of tutorials. I'm going to show you this way. It's using common household items, using a flathead screwdriver. You do want a thicker gauge screwdriver. This one is 3/8. If you don't have these tools, they're inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon or at Lowe's or whatever. I'm going to open this one. This one's really interesting. It's rooted but hasn't put out a sprout yet, so I'm curious to see what it's going to look like inside. Every coconut is different, and we'll see how this one looks. So with these, I usually look for grains. If there's cracks in the husk, I'll usually start there. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the flathead into that crack that was already made naturally. I'm just going to start prying it open, and then the opening that it made, I'm going to just continue on down way like that. I'm going to flip it, and just a few inches down, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to go through the coconut like this until I make enough openings where I can start prying it open. You can fast forward through this part. I'm just doing the same thing over and over around the perimeter of the coconut. The other reason why I like to open it this way is if you open it carefully enough, you might be able to preserve the husk and use it as a natural pot, like a natural flower pot or plant pot. If you do want to preserve and try to plant the sprout, you can put your flathead in the same area that the root has broken through the husk, and if you do that for all the areas of the root, you can potentially preserve the plant and still eat the sprout. This one, I'm not going to do that. It doesn't have a sprout yet, and this one, it would take a lot of extra time to do, so I'm going to skip that. So we're just moving down the coconut here. There are some soft parts there. Okay. And as you continue to make your way around the coconut, it gets easier and easier to pry. But either way, it does take a good amount of effort to rip open. So now we're at this point where I've made grooves all over the place, and now it much more easily comes apart. And here we go. And there's the coconut there. And see, if you open it carefully enough, this one, I've kind of opened it a little bit too wide. But if you open it carefully enough, it can stay in this shape to where you can reuse it as you can put some soil in there and use it as a pot. Get that out of the way. The sprout was connected here, if you can see that. And so when you receive yours, the plant will look like that once you dehusk it. And if you just twist it off, it'll remove, and there may be roots wrapped around it. You can just kind of carefully peel them away, and then you can potentially save the plant. Here's an example of that. If you look at this, this was wrapped around the coconut before on a different plant, and I removed it and I saved the roots. And it's not a guarantee, but you can potentially plant this with maybe some good fertilizer, good soil, and it may take root, and you'd still get to enjoy the coconut inside. So I'm going to remove this little extra bits here. This one's pretty moist. Let's see what it looks like inside. Now every sprout is different, and there's no way of knowing how it's gonna look until you open it up. So while the sprouts that I send out, I am as certain as I can be that there's gonna be a good heart inside. I can't guarantee 100% that it's gonna be an absolutely picturesque, perfect heart. Okay, so now we're at this point. Alright, now you got your hammer. Any size will do. I mean, not too small. It does need to have some significant enough of an impact. But if you feel on the coconut, there's kind of ribbed points along the shell, and those are the places where you're going to want to start. Right along that rib, right in the center. You're going to want to start striking it. Give it a spin, find the next one, spin, so on, and then you can kind of just start hitting it anywhere, and soon enough it'll start splitting. Okay, this one kind of broke open a little wildly, and I'll take it over to the kitchen and continue the video there.